well, can you explain me what brought you to making a Christmas release?
Well, we've always been kind of fond of Christmas metal stuff ever since like, gosh, I don't know how long it's been since August Burns Red released their Christmas stuff. But ever since then, I kind of like the idea of a band that usually does heavier progressive metalcore music and stuff, just to release something as a joke, kind of, but still not being that much of a joke, and it actually being kind of a nice recording and a full production of the band. And I've always wanted to do that. And so we've always had this idea of, well, maybe let's do a metalcore Christmas EP at some point. But we always put it off to the next year and maybe released one Christmas track and stuff, so, because you had to have to make time during the year
Yeah.
for at least 6 songs or something like that to produce all that. And let me tell you, it's not an easy feat to listen to Christmas stuff during the midst of the heat of summer, when it's in my studio here, 30 degrees, and you're sitting there going, "Feed the world, let them know it." Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
something. Yeah, but it was cool, and I'm glad we finally got around to doing that. And I think it turned out really cool.
It gives a bit of a different meaning to the Christmas in July thing that they have in
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
US.
exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting. I for this series also interviewed another project that had quite some. Yeah, it was all Christmas themed, so to say, but more on the symphonic side. And
Mhm.
yeah, it's interesting to hear how much time that all takes up to to create that.
It was really like I started writing it at around March or something like that.
Yeah.
So right after the whole Christmas time or Christmas celebrations, and the whole vibe fades, and you're just coming out of the whole Christmas thing, and then you have to go back into it. Yeah, it was interesting. And then from starting to write all the tracks at around March, I got around to doing the final recordings at around June, July. Yeah.
And how is it for you to work with all these tracks that people like? They all know them. Everybody knows these songs. So you have to obviously make your own version of that. How is it to work on that?
It's actually pretty cool. I really like it because you don't have to reinvent the wheel, so to say. You
Hmm.
already have a nice starting point. The songs are good. Otherwise, people wouldn't be hearing them at Christmas time. The songs are good, even though people kind of throw shade at Christmas music. But me personally, I like Christmas music. I'm all for it during Christmas time. Yeah. So you obviously have like a good song there already, and then you just have to mix your own style and flavors into that. And I think that's really fun. And you can pick from so many different versions. There's the whole Mariah Carey Christmas songs, then there's the Michael Bublé stuff, and then there's the classic Frank Sinatra stuff. And you can mix and match and get the best of all of these different worlds and combine them into your own little concoction. And that's really fun.
Yeah. So let's look a little bit at the tracks that you have on this release. Then
Sure.
let's start with Santa Tell Me because I feel like it's super catchy in a way.
Definitely. Yeah. Um, yeah, well, it was actually the last song we got around to doing, because that was like the spot that was left for when something comes up, if you get like a bright idea during the whole production thing. And I'm usually leaving some space all the way at the end to produce something I just think of while producing, because it happened a couple of times that I finished the whole project, and then at the end I was like, if I had thought about this and that at the start of the whole session, everything would have looked different. So I always leave some room at the end of there. Yeah, and I think it's just a song that really lends itself really good to metal. It has this poppy but still bouncy kind of vibe. And I think it turned out really cool. It has a nice mix of screaming and clean vocals.
Yeah. I saw you also did some video for it.
Yeah, well, let's call it video. It is a music video,
Yeah.
but it basically is just a compilation of scenes where we or myself in a Santa costume go around the local Christmas market in Nuremberg here and just be embarrassing. Yeah. But there were some nice moments we captured and the best of which we put into this video, and I think it turned out kind of funny. It's obviously not a nice music video everybody will watch 100 times because it's so amazing and the scenery looks so good, even though the Nuremberg castle and Christmas market is really beautiful. Um, yeah, but it's nice content to have out there for Christmas time.
Yeah, I thought it was seriously giving you the image that you guys had a lot of fun while doing that. So
Yeah. And that's basically our approach for all the stuff we do. You know, if we don't enjoy it, if we don't have fun while doing it, and we're all um really big goofballs. You only see me in the Christmas stuff most of the time, and also in the other Christmas video for Santa Claus is Coming to Town. It's like me the whole time through, but everybody's just as much of a dumbass as me. So we all like to have fun, and that's basically our philosophy for writing music, producing videos, producing the content, and just having a good time with each other. Yeah, so that's what feels natural for us the most. So
yeah.
yeah.
Then if you look at the track like Blue Christmas, which has a lot heavier approach, can you tell me a little bit about that one?
Uh, Blue Christmas is actually one of my all-time favorite Christmas songs. I really like that song for some reason. And I think Michael Bublé has like a really good big band version of that song. I really love it. Yeah, and I wanted to capture this whole feeling and the tempo changes and the grandiose feeling of it all. Um, and also I wanted to have one song that really just goes off the rails at the end, and really makes it a metal kind of thing. And I knew from the start that we have to invite somebody to, someone from like a more deathcore kind of a band. And our rehearsal space mates called Alchemist were the perfect fit for it. And their shouter, Fabio was so nice to record some vocals for it. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it turned out really cool. And I really like to have this first part where it's riffy and a whole lot of melodic stuff going on. It's really tight riffing, and then it just goes down there, and it's getting progressively slower and more muddy and more chaotic and stuff. And I think we as Torrential Rain, as our music style, we shouldn't do this too many times because we're not Lorna Shore. But every once in a while I like to do that, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, different color, white Christmas. I thought that was like a track with a lot of chaos in it. I like that the way it was done. How did you get that one together?
White Christmas was actually one of the very first Christmas songs we ever released. I think it must have been 2018 or 19 when we wrote that song, and we also had an old video that was basically the same concept, just me in a Santa costume playing guitar and goofing around in front of a green screen, and then really haphazardly just moving the green screen images around and doing just random low budget stuff to make it a little bit more funny. Yeah, and we decided to just put this song onto the EP as well because it would be a shame to have it just be on YouTube and not be on any streaming site. And if we're gonna put out a whole Christmas EP, why not put every Christmas song we ever did into that? But I obviously re-recorded everything and make it sound proper and nice and fitting with the whole 2024 EP and our sound we were going for now. Because I like to think since 2018, when we started to do this whole music band thing, like semi-professionally, we made some strides, we made some improvements in our sound as well as in our, ability.
Yeah. Do they know it's Christmas? I saw you have this collaboration on there, so I got to ask, how did you get all these people involved?
That's actually really cool. I always knew if I'm gonna do this song, or if we were gonna do this song, we need more than one feature on that track. And I would have loved to have like whole lots of people in there, and everybody's going in on the final chant in that song. But that would have been a complete nightmare to organize. Um, but luckily, our drummer Dario has connections to the power metal band Freedom Call, which is usually not that, that common for a metalcore band to collaborate with a power metal band. But Dario has helped them out on some occasions on their tours, and so we know each other. And he gave me the contact for Chris. Yeah, and we shot some tracks back and forth, and he gave me the vocal tracks for the song, and we incorporated them, and it works actually pretty nice, like power metal vocals over metalcore riffing. And for Rage, I know the guitarist Gene Borman, and I just shot him a message at WhatsApp and asked him, "Hey, dude, if you do you want to be maybe in our song?" I didn't even know that we were gonna call it featuring Rage at that time. I just wanted him to have a spot on there as well. And initially, we only wanted to do a guitar solo, and he just came up with vocals as well for the bridge, and he sent that stuff over as well. And I was like, "Cool, man. Why not just put it in the song?" Um, and yeah, after we talked with the management and stuff, they said, well, he's a member of Rage, and so let's call it featuring Rage. And that's really cool to have like two bands that are definitely not in our genre featuring on a track that's on a metalcore Christmas EP. And I'm really, really, really glad we got around to doing that. That's so cool.
Yeah, I think it shows a little bit of that Christmas spirit to
Yeah,
just
exactly.
work
Exactly.
together, and yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Not part of the this release, I think, but like I found it funny that when I looked at your YouTube channel, like at one of the top playlists, I saw the track named "Home Alone" there.
Hmm. Oh, well, I have never thought of that actually. Oh man, I guess we're a Christmas metalcore band now.
I guess so.
I guess we are.
Yeah, no, I thought maybe you didn't put it there as a joke or something.
No, actually, I've never thought about it. Now that you mention it, a couple of times I have looked up Home Alone, just to get maybe a music video link or something for it. Um, and there always came the movie, and I was like, Home Alone. Oh shit, it's called Home Alone as well. Oh shit, because in Germany we only know it as Heaven allein zu Haus, and
Mm.
that's a whole different kind of title. And so you rarely think of the original title for that movie. And if I had known or thought about the title, maybe I would have called the song a little bit different. But yeah, I mean it's a fun fact about us that maybe comes up every Christmas time, which is also good because now we have a Christmas EP out.
Yeah, that's true. Can you see yourself writing your own classical Christmas track that everybody's like knowing?
Like an original track?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about doing that for this EP, and I would have loved to, and maybe in the future, I will get around to do that. Like instead of having six songs that you cover, just concentrating on one really good song that you make original. I think that would be cool. But I think maybe not next year, maybe the year after that, because we're already working on new Torrential Rain album, like mainline stuff. And I think maybe next year, end of next year, might be a little bit too crowded then.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Make
it would be cool, and I think at some point I will be doing that.
cool. You already mentioned a favorite, but do you have like an all-time favorite Christmas track?
That's tough. That's pretty tough. Well, obviously, Blue Christmas is one of my all-time favorites, and I've got to say, actually, the other song we have on the EP, "Christmas Baby, Please Come Home" by Mariah Carey. I think that song is also pretty cool.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
I saw you had some live shows coming up before the end of December. Are you having
definitely.
that Christmas themed?
They are not Christmas themed.
Okay.
Maybe at the very end of the year, at the 21st of December, we have a show with oh gosh, I forgot the name. One Step Closer. Oh God, I almost embarrassed myself here. That's like the most well-known Linkin Park cover band out there. And we're supporting them at the end of the year. And maybe I know that there are a lot of local people that will come to the show to see us because it's our hometown show. And they all might want to hear a Christmas song, and maybe we will get around to play one, hopefully. But no promises if anybody is listening to this. No promises. But yeah, maybe we'll wear a Santa hat or something like that. It would be cool to have a Christmas themed party, party show. I've never had a Christmas themed show at the end of the year, so that would be cool.
Nice. For people who kind of didn't know you before the Christmas release, can you explain to me how is a typical live show for you look like?
Like just the show or the whole day
Yeah,
for
just
us or for the viewer?
for the viewer, for the show, like what can we expect when we come to the show?
Well, what we what what we really focus on, obviously, is playing our instruments well, and it's our whole shtick to be good at an instruments and play music that is not only enjoyable for the listener, have melodies and catchy rhythms and chorus and breakdowns and whatever, but it's also one of our really guiding principles to really deliver on our instruments and really have a tight performance up there. But also what we really do good, in my opinion, live is not be somebody else up on the stage. All of us are talking into the microphones. And usually you have only the singer doing like some stuff in between the songs and hyping up the crowd, and it's a one-man show, and then there's the band. Um, that's not the thing for us because everybody of us is talking and we banter back and forth and make fun of each other and that kind of stuff. And I think you not only can expect a good show where people play good music, you go out of the concert and hum maybe some melodies, and have something stuck in your ear. But also you get to see good instrumental work and also a bit of comedy in between the songs.
Okay, sounds cool. Um, you already spoke about the new album you're working on. It's going to be out in the next year. What else is new?
Well, it's hopefully it will be out next year, but we're not,
You're not
nailing
sure.
ourselves down. I'm definitely producing starting
Mhm.
next year. But it's all up there when that will be out.
All right, all
But
right.
what was the other question?
What's next?
Well, obviously producing.
Yeah.
And it's for us, it's a bit of a special situation because a lot of bands do it like everybody gets into the rehearsal space and then they jam out and then they write their parts and then everybody comes up with something. For us, it's a bit more egocentrical, I would call it. It's not because I'm the 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 brain guy and I'm like, oh, I gotta do everything myself and I don't want anybody else's opinion. But worked we have this kind of workflow where I do the creative stuff and everybody else has their own like workspaces, For other guitarists, Gordy, that's the booking and the whole networking and writing emails and business kind of stuff. And for Dario and Dominic, it's more of the social media, financing stuff, which I'm very bad at. Yeah, and I think that's a good way to have everybody be engaged and be productive. Yeah, and that's what I want to concentrate next year, like in particular to produce as much as possible and obviously play a lot of shows. Even though we played a lot this year, we still want to do more shows, more festivals. So you might see us at around, I'd say, May to September on a lot of festival stages.
All right. Uh, any shows abroad?
Hopefully, we'll have some in the Netherlands. We definitely have one in Austria. And if I'm not mistaken, like I said, the whole booking kind of aspect is done by our other guitarist, and he would be able to give like a perfect answer here. But I think there's also some one show in the Czech Republic.
Okay, sounds nice. Last question. Do you have a Christmas wish or some wisdom that you want to share with the world?
A Christmas wish for me personally would be just having a bit of time to just relax, calm down, having a nice end of the year with just relaxing time with the family and friends, and focusing on the stuff that really matters. And that's my Christmas wisdom for everybody out there. It's not about the presents. It's not about I mean, it is about the food, in my opinion. But most of all, it is about who you spend the time with, and if you like spending time with them, with your friends, with your family, with your partners, and enjoying this time as much as possible. And I think that's what Christmas is about. At least for me, that's what it's about. And that's probably why I like Christmas so much every year. It's a time to, you know, calm down a little bit, forget about all of the stress, and just focus on spending time with your loved ones.
Yeah, those are some really nice words. I can only agree to that. Thank you very much for your time. I hope
Thank you
I'll
so much
get
for
to
having
see
me.
you. I
Yeah,
will
hopefully.
keep an eye on your schedule, of course. And who
Nice.
knows? All
Nice.
right. Good evening then.
Then wish you a good evening as well.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.